morning, guys. We're on another house wash today. This one you can see is 2-story, and then they got a little peak up there. Nothing we can't get from the ground. This is from Google. Google is great. Tell you one thing, when you're looking at properties and you look at one on a pretty sunny day, and then you go back and you look at it on a cloudy early morning, you see a lot of stuff you didn't see the time before. So always take that into account. You're not always going to see everything on those pretty days, especially a roof wash. See, I came and looked at this house the other day and I didn't see hardly anything, but it was a pretty sunny day. You get out, do what you got to do, look at pictures, talk to the customer, everything's good. But you know, just a little bit different story when you're here to do it and it's overcast, and it's just a little different. So I don't have my rig set up like I want. You know, the big issue I think with this homeowner is this stuff here on this fascia and or soffit, whatever you want to call it. It's a big issue. They probably get a lot of moisture from that, but the big thing with this is, I mean, it'll come clean, no issues. Just got to have the right mix. So that's what we're going to use. Yeah, no, shoot, that's no problem. Yeah, it's 40 degrees here in Tennessee. You can hear that wind blowing. It absolutely sucks. But it is what it is. They do have waterproof outlets, so that's a plus. Pull these away a little bit from the wall. Let the check out here. Come up here and see. Window's kind of dirty. They got a stained deck, stained front porch as well, and the main thing with this, you just want to make sure is you wet everything down first. I mean, we clean painted surfaces and stained surfaces, and it could spot, but the main thing is just just wetting it all down so it dilutes it even more. So wind's blowing, let me get everything hooked up and get started. Alright guys, here we are an hour and a half later, and everything come out as to be expected. I talked to the homeowner about some tiger stripe and oxidation up there on the gutters, and that was the case. I'm going to tell you a challenging thing to this. You know, we can shoot 2 stories, and you got 1, and then you got 2. We can shoot that easily. The issue I had on this one was not only is it 2 stories and set back, but this piece was disgusting. He has some algae built up on the insides right here from the roof, and I can't get that with a house wash. But all that was disgusting. All that came clean. Super windy today, so I would just have to kind of guess where I was spraying when I was getting it. Used quite a bit of mix to try to get it the way I wanted it to. Like I said, you know, I come and looked at this house the other day, and the only thing I seen was one little section over there. But then you come back today, and it's overcast. Yeah, well, it isn't now, but it was. And it's bad. I didn't get any pictures from up underneath. That was one of the main areas he was worried about. You know, make sure you get on the porch. I'll tell you this deck is stained. The handrails, porch rails are stained. Has green on that, but that wasn't part of the deal. I'm going to give him a price on the concrete. I haven't looked at the roof, but I'm going to give him a price on the concrete and the railings and deck. Porch was stained. The railings were stained. Door was stained. What you got to do with that is wet it down, wet it down, wet it down, then spray, and then wet it down some more. And if you have your mixes right, then you don't have any issues. If you just come up here and spray it dry, even though he had a good sealer on it, and that sealer was stopping a lot of that water penetration, it's not going to stop everything. So you just gotta be careful. I really don't like doing them, just to be honest, because no matter what you do, it seems like you're gonna always lighten up a few spots. And I've heard people say, well, I just taped the door off. See, all that was really, really bad. People say, well, I just taped the door off and it's okay. No, what are you gonna do on a job like this? Just tape the whole thing off. So you know, looks great. This back here was pretty dirty. It wasn't, you couldn't even tell that it was that dirty until actually we started washing it. But yeah, everything came out great on this one. I think they'll be plenty satisfied. Like I said, I mean, when you wet everything down and you keep it wet and spray it and then wet it down again, I mean, that's all you can do when you're working with stain. So just take your precautions and you'll be good to go. And remember all the corners. You know, I sprayed this whole backside and then I forgot this little piece right here, so I had to spray it. But yeah, that's just time for the day. Just gonna show you, it's another house wash. Showed you little things that I look at, what I look for. You know, I knew when I came over that this piece up top, that was gonna be the hardest part besides keeping everything wet with the stain. And I mean, it came out great. So you see how tall that is. It may not look as tall like this, but when you get close to it and you start looking up, I mean, it's huge. So and we shot all that from the ground. Customer should be pleased. All that paint that is coming off up here, that was like that before. I talked to him about it. He's actually looking for a painter. But besides some tiger striping and maybe a little bit of discoloration of the stain here and there, this one come out great. It just needs, in my opinion, it just needs the concrete and needs the deck washed. I can't really tell right now because the sun's out. Checking his roof, but looks like his roof may be pretty good to go. I don't see anything out of the ordinary, but it's not the right time of day to see that anyway, and it could be on the backside, who knows. But anyway, here's another one down. About 47 degrees here in Tennessee today. Wind was blowing, it sucked. It finally starts warming up when I'm done. And, you know, I guess that's just part of it. You know, I was gonna have perfect weather, you know, 80 degrees and no wind. So you just gotta be able to figure things out on your own and make it work. I haven't got everything set up yet, so I had to go back to my fibers today. On this house, I end up using, I guess I probably got a gallon less. I used about 9 gallons of 50-50 mix. Like I said, I sprayed that up there a lot, just blind spraying because I couldn't see it, and got it really good. And yeah, just another one in the books. I don't have the truck ready yet. I put my braces in for my pump box to set in. I'm debating on even to put it back in the box or not. Just because in the box, every time I cut it off, I got to cut off 2 or 3 inches of stuff. Waiting on some fittings to come in, waiting on a cap to come in. While I was working today, you know, if you guys know, watched the earlier video, when I first got my machine, this wasn't even on it. I took this one off my old pressure washer and it was leaking today, so I'm gonna have to pull that and put some PVC thread around it and go from there. But everything worked good. Everything's like it should have been, and here's another one down for 2022. We'll see ya.